Okay. Well, welcome to this night of the Becoming Circle, because we are becoming the women that we say we want to be, right?
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
So tonight we're going to talk about growth, when your growth feels like stagnation and why everything feels slow right before you shift. Now, have you ever noticed that you go through something and it's like um, right before the change happens, it's like you feel like nothing's happening, everything's going slow. Um, there's no movement, there's no action. It's like you feel like it's just stagnant. Like, what's happening? In that moment, that's the moment of transition. And so before you really shift over, it's really when we look at when we plant seeds in in the winter time and they start to germinate. My daughter was telling me, she was like, look, mom, did you plant something? And some seeds started growing, like there were leaves, and it looked like tulips are about to grow. And so I was like, no, I didn't plant those. It's like things that have been planted prior to, that's a good message. Things that have been planted years ago. So when we're looking at this group, we started 4 years ago. Things that we planted 4 years ago. God, I thank you for that. That we planted 4 years ago that we didn't even think were going to happen. Things that we didn't think were going to grow. Things that we thought were going to just hold us up now are starting to come up because we thought we were in this pattern of like nothing's ever going to happen. There's no growth, there's no progress, nothing's happening is what we feel like. But underneath everything, and I spoke about this last week, it's underneath the current of everything. Things are starting to kind of come up. In those moments, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll turn around and they'll stop, or they won't proceed, or they'll give up, they'll do something else. They'll throw in the towel and be like, this is worthless, this is stupid, I shouldn't do it. That's the moment when you should be shifting. Okay, that's the moment shift is happening. Um, Tiari, can you go get my Bible, please? Sorry. Okay. So the next is in one word, what I would like you to do is, how would you describe right now your current pace of progress? Just one word. Anybody? Somebody.
I'm trying to think. You
No,
said where I am in my life now?
one word of how you would describe your current pace of progress. So,
Whirlwind.
oh, I like that. All right.
That would
Why,
be me.
why you say that?
It's just think about a whirlwind, how it's just going around and around and around. It's just like a merry-go-round. You can't get off of it. You're like, what is going on? Like 1 minute it may slow down, may seem like okay, everything falling in place, and everything it just that momentum pick back up. So, that's what I feel like.
Okay. Tangi, what is yours?
I still feel slow movement, very slow. Like it's so slow. I don't even
So
think I'm moving.
like sloth slow or snail slow.
Like snail slow. I feel
Like it's
snail.
moving, but it's not moving at the pace
Move.
that you want it
Yeah,
to move.
Right.
that's what
I
I'm getting.
think,
What she's
Okay.
saying.
yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying too. It's
I
like
want to
movement. Go
I
ahead.
want to say stuck and stagnation, but I see I can't say that because I did a couple of things. I'm starting to come out this isolation. So, but it's very slow.
So it's not, yeah. So it's like you said, it's like that snail movement. It's moving at this slow pace, but you're doing something. So I commend you for the progress. Okay.
Okay.
So has anyone ever been doing the work? Here we are, Miss Angie, reading, you're praying, you're journaling, you're setting your boundaries, trying to respond to people differently, and then you still feel like my life looks exactly the same. That snail
Yep.
movement. I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
still in the same place,
Yep.
right? I'm still here, right? Same job, same bills, same relationship dynamics, same triggers, same responsibilities. And it's like, remember I said what at the beginning of the year, what I said was, I will not do same job, same bills, same relationship, just in a different year, at a different time, at a different moment, but it's the same thing. That gets like waxing. It gets to the point where you're just like, is this all it there is? And that's how it makes you feel. Like, is this it? Is this my life? Is this all that I've come? Is this where I've come to? It's really what I thought was, is this what I've come to? Is this what my life has come to? Is this right?
Right.
It the same people triggering me, the same dynamic, the same conversations, the same people. Like, and then you start thinking, what's the point of nothing? What's the point of nothing's changing? Right, Miss Angie? What's the point of me doing the journaling and the praying and the affirmations and all this work if nothing's changing? Nothing.
Nothing
Yeah.
changes if nothing changes.
I feel like
Mhm.
nothing's changing. But in the moment, what I realized was when things started happening. So when we look at this group 4 years ago, right? I always thought, well, God, I'm not making a difference. Nothing's happening. There's no change. But here we are, 4 years later. We're no longer crying over our relationships, right? Remember, Zakia? No, we're no longer crying over relationships. We're not
No.
doing that. I mean, we think it's supposed to be like this, ta-da, like the sparks and the thing, and it's just supposed to be this like this in the movies. And it's like this inner work. When we talk about change, it's like changing from the inside out. We were looking for the aesthetic part, the outside, the appearance of everything, like, oh, everything's wonderful. I got this. But it's like, I'm looking at the change that we have progress from the inside where we no longer get angry. I'm work in progress, I'm working on my vernacular, my verbiage, my four-letter words. I'm working on that. But it's an awareness that we have come to in 4 years. We have changed. And I don't think we've honored ourselves in that point of saying, yes, we actually have moved and changed to a different life, a part of our life, right? So tonight, I want to talk about the moment in growth and nobody prepares you for. Nobody prepares us for the moments. The part where you're changing internally, like I said, but nothing externally has caught up with you yet. Internally, you've changed. You're no longer crying. You no longer give two poops about, baby daddies. We've moved past those illicit relationships. We've moved past those conversations that don't mean us any good. We've moved on. We've leveled up in our business, although we don't think it has, because again, we're looking at the external part, but we have to really understand internally. It's like a movement from the inside out, because once you change the inside, the Bible says out of the heart of the man flows the issues of life. So the moment you start changing the inside, your outer is going to change aesthetically as well. Okay. So, sorry, my slides are all over the place. The teaching point right down today is the internal change happens first. You have to change the inside before the outside ever changes. Okay. Because the outside of your house can look phenomenal. Have you ever seen one of those houses and it looks so beautiful on the outside? And
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
go in
okay,
there, you be like, what the hell?
Jesus, right. So can you imagine getting in a relationship and aesthetically, we are beautiful on the outside, right? Had a man stuttering today, girl. He couldn't even talk. Man was just stuttering. I mean, he was just, I promise, and I'm not trying to be all like I'm all that, but he was just stuttering. And I'm just smiling, laughing at him. And I was like, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. He was like, hey, yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. He was mid-conversation with someone. That man stopped mid-conversation and looked at me and followed me out the door and was like, hey, yeah. So externally, yeah, she's beautiful. But when we look at the internal, yikes. Have you ever seen a woman? Who can I say? There's a celebrity that externally she looks great, phenomenal. But when she start talking, you be like, oh no, we good. We so good. We no. You got a lot of internal stuff cracking. Who Spirit just reminded me of the girl from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. What was her name? Very pretty.
Oh, Jessica White, Nick Cannon, ex girlfriend, the tall, slim one.
no, the one that
Not her.
fought. She was a fighter and she cussed a lot and she Bob was her name, Bobby Blue. It was a boy's name. Billy, was it? Oh God, I
I
can't.
know who you talk.
And she was messing around with the dude and he was married and then she start crying, start going off, and it was like, I want you to stay. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What was
Oh
her
my gosh,
name?
I
She was real
can't.
thick. She had a lot of plastic surgery, didn't she?
Nope. Hold on, let me get her so I know who we talking
Talking
about.
about Johnny Blaze.
That's
Is
what
that
it
her
Remember
sounded
Johnny
like,
name?
Blaze?
Johnny Blades.
Uh
That's who
Love.
I'm thinking too.
She was
Was it Love and Hip Hop
real
Atlanta or was it New York or
Atlanta. Atlanta.
Fighter? Messing with the Married Man.
She was
Hold on, I'm trying to think.
let me get her face.
Messing with the Man. It wasn't Carly Red. Uh,
Wasn't Rashida. It was
not Spice.
Erica Mena.
Erica,
Hold
not
on.
Erica Man.
Sierra. K Michelle. Wasn't K Michelle. Wasn't Jessica Dime. Tommy Lee.
Oh, Tommy, yeah, Tommy, yeah, Tommy. Yeah, she all
Beautiful.
messed up.
Beautiful
Yes,
girl.
but when
Ah,
she get, ooh, that thing, not that
my
part
God,
of the head.
today.
But yeah.
Now, do you see what I'm saying? Beautiful on the outside. She walk in a room, boy, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's
Hmm.
amazing. But as soon as you hit her, the
Hmm.
internal things happen. Her triggers happen in her mama. I remember she had issues with her mom. There were so many triggers that she had that it just was like we this is playing out on national TV. Your life
Right.
is literally
It's
filtering out.
literally playing out. Right.
So you can be great. It's on the exterior. We all are beautiful women. We are. But then what happens in the internal? When you're having a conversation, when somebody says something to you and it triggers you, who's coming out? Because I'm gonna tell you, my mama, whoo, beautiful woman. Oh, I mean, Rosemary she was a stunner. Get her in the right moment, her whole demeanor. She cussed you out before church. She cussed the pastors out in the church. That's who she was. The internal part of her would filter out, and you'd be like, oh no, I don't even want to mess with her. To where people would think because I was her daughter, I act just like her.
Yeah, I get that too about my mom.
The
They think I act
DNA,
like my mom. Yeah, they think
right.
I act like my mom.
And I was like, far from her. I'm so far from her. Right? So the internal first happens. Okay. Growth is uncomfortable, not because it's hard, but because it's invisible. When we talk about, God, I thank you. Oof, this is
Growth is
a,
like grief. It hits you out of nowhere sometimes. Like
oof.
it just like
Uh-huh.
it's like an emotional roller like growth is like a roller coaster ride, like the mind
Yeah.
bender in Six Flags. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm choking on my juice. Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine. Who is that? Dominique Morgan. I love when she says that. Imagine. Growth is so uncomfortable because, like you said, I'm going through happy today, sad tomorrow.
Hmm.
I'm pissed off today. I'm
Hmm.
angry. I don't, I'm feeling a little melancholy. And it's because it's like if we think about a baby coming out and it's growing, and this baby is nudging and it's pushing you, and it's such an invisible thing. You don't know what this baby's doing in the womb, but in utero, it's growing. Think about when you plant seeds in a plant. You have no idea what's happening. We did a lesson about planting the seed, and you have to be rooted in something. So when you plant the seed, that seed has to get rooted first. God, I thank you before it even starts to grow. My God, right? So we got rooted in something, and now here the growth comes. And like you said, Zakia, now it is it's the most painful, emotional roller coaster that I have been on in my life. Majority of women think it's menopause. Could it
Hmm.
be? Possibly. a little mixture. It's like a mixed drink. It's a little mixture.
Yeah. It's
Long
true.
Island
Yeah.
iced tea,
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of all those things, but it's such an invisible thing. Our growth is so invisible. Things that used to bother us, we're like, I don't care. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me anymore, right? So you're thinking differently, right? You're noticing patterns faster. You're noticing, up, she's spiraling, she's going down, she's not feeling it, right? We've talked about owning our feelings. We've talked about how we honor our feelings. We honor that part of us. My daughter's 15 and she was like, I'm just depressed. And I was like, hey, feel it. Feel how you're feeling, but don't go down into that spiral. Okay. So this is what growth is. I'm learning to feel. Oh, I'm pissed. I'm angry. Why am I angry? I'm asking myself, why am I angry? You know how you have those like your private conversations when you're talking to yourself and you're
Yeah.
rehearsing a story? I find myself now recovering quicker and saying, why do I even care? What?
Yeah.
Why do I care? Learning to pause before we react. Because look, somebody say something to you and you're gonna snap, crackle, and pop, right? Now you're just like, is it worth it?
Me, I just be like, I'm gonna let you have it. I just laugh.
I'm gonna let you have it. I ain't
I'm
even
gonna
gonna
let you
hold you.
have
And I
it.
tell people, I'm not even gonna
Now they
hold you on
keep
it.
talking now. I'll be like, wait a minute now, I'll let you have it. So you better be quiet. I'll let you have it now.
But it's the boundary. Now I'm learning my
Yeah.
boundary. Now, usually I wouldn't say nothing to you, or I'm gonna give you the back and forth. I'm gonna give you my shoulders. I'm gonna give you all that. Now it's like, okay, whatever. I said what I said. But if you
Right.
keep going, make sure you understand I'm gonna move in a certain way, and you're not gonna like it,
That's what I tell her.
right?
I'm like, she sleep. She ain't dead. She sleep. So you might want to
Oh,
stop. I
my
let them
my
know.
girlfriend says she has this closet in her house, and she said she's in that closet, and I have to keep her there because if I let her out, she was like, it's over. And I was like, oh,
Hmm.
let's keep her in the closet. But it's that part of us when
Yep.
we battle with the ego and the essence of who we are. Those two women powerful when we learn how to do what we're doing right now, pausing before we react. Because Tanika wants to arise. She want to rise up, and you just be like, Tanika, calm down. Okay.
But it's hard when you feel like you being disrespected. And it's like it may not be that you're actually being disrespected. It's
Mm-hmm.
because it could be triggering for you, but it's like
Right.
the other person didn't mean any harm. It's just their deliverance of it. So you have to I find myself snatching myself like, you know what?
Just
Be like,
you just do the
let's
Jesus.
run that by me again. Like, so I won't take
Making
it wrong.
people, when you do that, I've learned, I've been watching these podcasts, and this man said, make a person repeat what they just said.
Yeah.
Someone can say something so slick out their neck, and you
Hmm.
just be like, say it again. Because when you
Right.
say it again, it makes me listen to what I just said to you.
Uh-huh.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what diabolical, right?
Hmm.
So again, now we get to asking better questions. Repeat what you just said. Excuse me, say it again.
Hmm.
Because your environment hasn't responded yet, it feels like stagnation because now the environment, like aesthetically, I would love to have this like, this house where everything matches, like it has like the theme and the picture. Girl, it hasn't matched yet. But I know she's getting there, right? Because I'm moving somewhere. Like Miss Tangi said, although I'm not where I want to be, I'm moving to that place. And she's getting there. Okay. She's getting there. So then there's this gap. So now we're in part two where there's a gap. So now we feel like there's this gap between who we used to be and who we are right now, or what your life is reflecting right now. Okay. So who we used to be, we used to cry. Oh man, I remember we used to cry, cry and cry, cry. Oh, now we just like, you know what? He could kick rocks. Okay. He could eat dirt. I don't care. Okay. We could care less, right? So, and inside the gap is your old coping mechanisms. When we look at the children of Israel, let's talk about how they moved. They got free, right? The Moses in them freed them. They got free, but then they were so used and so comfortable to being slaves that they were like, I don't want to be free. Moses, you got us out here to die. I'd rather go back and be a slave. People would say that. I'd rather go back to the, oh God, I thank you. I'd rather go back to the old way of being rather than try to keep changing because the old way I got comfortable. I'm used to that. Remember when I told you when we first met, it's comfortably uncomfortable. I'd rather be comfortably uncomfortable than to change who I am. So your old coping mechanisms don't feel good anymore, but your brand new habits don't feel natural yet. So it's like, I want to be confident, but it's not hitting there. So now here comes, like you said, the chaos and uncomfortable, the whirlwind.
Yeah, it's like you're having an out of body experience and you don't know how
Yes.
to really back in.
Grab her back and be like, hey, hey, come
Yeah,
here, sit here, right?
yeah.
Peace is unfamiliar. You don't know how to just take care of yourself. What does that look like for me to go and just sit and have lunch with me? What,
And you
what,
know
what?
what's weird? I was doing it at one point a few months ago. I was doing it like when my daughter was at practice. I would go and have at Applebee's. And I was good. It was like, life started life, and so that went to the back burner. But it did feel good to start doing it. I was like, I'm gonna date myself. I'm gonna this, I'm gonna this, I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that. And I was doing it. I was doing all of the things at one point in time, and it was just like you said, it was unfamiliar, but it felt good. Like
Feels
who
good.
nobody is treating me better than I treat myself.
Oof. Because
So
listen, she is amazing. So my daughter's
yeah,
dad called me and he asked me a question. He was like, well, I just wanted to see your face. I said, oh, she's a stunner. She's 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 beautiful. And he's just looking at the screen. You know why? Because he's not used to her.
she used to, yeah.
He's used to the one be like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, huh. She's a stunner. She's here. You see her? She's amazing. She's doing great, right? And I'm talking this way. So he and he's just like amazed that this woman is saying this because she's a stunner.
Yeah.
She's
It's like
she's
my
a special
ex-husband say, what do you want for Valentine's Day? For you to leave me alone.
uh,
For you to leave me alone. Okay, thanks.
for
Thanks for
you to go
playing.
find somebody else that you can play with. Okay, because
For you to
I'm
leave me
not the
alone.
toy.
For you to
Absolutely.
leave me alone.
Go do
You
your
leave me
thing.
alone. That's what I would love for
Right,
Valentine's
because
Day.
you don't want what you don't want that from me. But so you don't fit the old version of your life. So the old
Right.
version of our life 4 years ago, that doesn't fit us anymore, right?
Mm-mm,
But you don't feel
mm-mm.
settled in this new one either. So of course now I love that, we're at this space where you're kind of feeling this whirlwind. Now we're in this whirlwind. I don't feel settled in the old life. And it's almost like what I look at and I feel like it's like we're going through these time warps
Yeah.
where it's like I'm here and then I'm over there and then
But
it's like
I
I'm
feel as though
trying
we got control of it.
and I'm
You
trying to
have
grab
control of it.
yeah. And I'm trying to grab a hold of who I am, but I don't know how to get back to this because the old me wants to,
Yeah.
snap, crackle, and pop, and then the other one wants to cuss somebody out, and then the other one wants to just be like, I'm so dainty and I'm so feminine. And then it's like, whoa. So
Yeah.
that space is not failure, and it's not a space of transition. It's a space of growth, right? We're growing, and I love
Yeah.
that. I love that I'm growing in this pace. So growth often feels stagnant right before it becomes visible. When we look at things that we have planted, oh, did I go ahead? I'm good. Okay. When we look at things that we have planted in our life, the businesses, the aspirations, think about 4 years ago when we planted all of these things in our life. I want to look at, and Spirit just brought to my attention what do you call that tree? What is it?
Bamboo.
The bamboo. Let's look at that. Let's see. How long does it take? How long? How long does it take for a bamboo tree to grow? Okay. Bamboo is one of the world's fastest growing plants with individual culms or stalks reaching their full height up to 90 feet in just 2 to 4 months. While they shoot quickly, a new bamboo plant takes 3 to 5 years to become fully established, spread its rhizomes, and reach maximum maturity. 3 to 5 years. Okay. It generally takes 3 years for a new plant to establish a strong root system. God, see? And 3 to 5 years for a growth to mature. We grew. We grew, but it's taken us some time to really reach our full maturity, right? We don't see the growth. Like Miss Tangi said, I did. I journaled. I prayed. I did all the things, but I just feel like nothing's happening. Well, it's taking time. It takes time to mature, to become the mature woman. When we look at when we were younger, in our teens, whenever we wanted to grow up so fast, we were trying to push the level of growth. Now here we are in this growth, and we're just like, oh, is this all it is? There's so much that we've missed out on in our 20s and 30s because no one taught us what growth really looks like. We want to grow up so fast, but we don't understand that it's a process. So now when I'm looking at, what my baby girl was going through the other day, it's like you're feeling the growth. It's not that things are hard, it's just because you're growing and you're growing in a space that it seems hard, but it's just you growing. Okay. So here's some teaching points that we're going to talk about. Your life is reorganizing. Okay. Sometimes things don't move immediately because you're learning how to say no. Of course we are. We're learning how to stop overgiving. So Miss Tangi, this is probably where you're at. You stop rescuing. We stop chasing. We stop abandoning ourselves. And when you stop performing the old role, the old way of being, people have to adjust. We have to adjust to this new woman that we are. We have to really see like, okay, well, she don't like that. She don't do that. She don't go out here and do this. My daughter really brought some things to my attention, my oldest one. And she's like, well, you cuss a lot. And I was like, oh, didn't really think about it. It's because it was just something that was just natural for me. Those words were just, they roll off the cuff. I'm giving you all the business. I'm giving you all the 4-letter words. Right? But now I have to adjust to that. And so people have to adjust to the fact that sometimes I want to call you a funky little bee all day. But then it's like, but then I have to think about the character. So when Proverbs 31:31, when you read it, it says a woman of noble character. Who can find her? When we talk about character, my character is like a Tommy Lee. She's so beautiful. Oh gosh, she's beautiful. But man, when she started talking, woo! Where is the scripture? See, Spirit just brought that to me. 31, I want to say Proverbs 31. Let's read it. It's talking about when she's out in the streets and she got a husband. And the husband is talking with his friends. Where is it at, Spirit? I want to say it's Proverbs 31 somewhere. Yep, it's in here. I gotta find it. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. Okay. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good and not harm all the days of her life. This is out of the NIV version, but there's a part where they said where she's sitting, he goes into the streets. I gotta find it. And can't nobody say nothing bad about her. Many women do noble things. Oh man, where is it? Oh, here it is. So it's Proverbs 31:23. It says, her husband is respected at the city gate where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. So it says that when he goes and he sits down with the elders, you know how your homeboys be like, man, I've seen Tarina out in the streets. I've seen Zakia. She was out there, but went Monday through Friday. Things like that used to be said about me. I seen Trina out in the street. She was out there doing whatever. This is what they're saying. That her husband can go and sit at the city gates and they can't be like, man, I seen your wife. I seen Rebecca out there. Just I seen Rebecca out there. She was out there doing her thing. You know, man. She was talking to some guy. They can't have those conversations. They can't have those negative conversations. Why? Because she's a woman of noble character. Her character really speaks for herself. And then they talk about all the wonderful things that she does. Okay? Opportunities have to adjust when we stop performing the old role. Even your identity has to adjust, Zakia. This whirlwind, she has to adjust. No more crying. We've adjusted to the fact that we're like, what are we crying for? I'm gonna need you to get out of my face. You know, I'm gonna need you to knock it off, sir. I'm gonna need you to get out of my face, and I'm gonna need you to go on about your business. And I'm gonna need you to go ahead and talk to somebody else about these shenanigans that you're trying to pull, and trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Sorry, I have my alarms is going off. Jesus. Um, thank you. Um, and adjustment takes time. So it takes time to adjust a thing. It's like a bride when she goes and gets her wedding dress and she picks out her wedding dress. She has time to get that adjusted in order for it to fit properly on the great day. Use that analogy as you will. All right, so here's an exercise. There's 5 questions. I'm gonna give you guys 10 minutes to answer these questions. You don't have to share if you don't want to. If you got your pen and paper, there's some questions that you want to answer. Answer them honestly. Again, you don't have to share them with me, but you'll have 10 minutes to just really sit with yourself and answer these questions, and we'll come back. All right?
Hold on, let me fix one.
You should always be prepared for class, ma'am. I'm kidding.
I know I moved. I was in my
You,
room.
oh, I thought you said you moved. I was like, again?
No, I meant like I moved like from where I was at
Oh, all
with my
right.
pen and paper.
All right. You got 10 minutes. I don't know what happened, Miss Tangi, but your time
I'm
starts now.
still here. I'm
Okay.
just listening. I'm listening.
All right. Well, you got 10 minutes, ma'am, to answer these
Okay,
questions.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, go.
What's the question?
They're right there. You don't see them? Oh,
You
Uh-uh.
know what? I can't see them. You're gonna have to read it because one, my phone is a little bit. It's messed
I
up.
just see
that's
you.
right. You
My
can't
phone.
see me.
I just see you. I don't see no question.
Okay, let me go back. Okay, I forgot you guys were on your phones. My bad. My apologies. It'll be on this on the thing. Okay,
Somebody
question number.
said hello. Oh, somebody text you and say hello? Is there a meeting
Yeah,
tonight?
I'm finna send the link.
Who is
I
it?
think that's what's going on. You know what, Tarina? I think you're gonna
What?
have to hit us up with a reminder of the link like you did at 9 o'clock. I think I was the only one in a little early, and I think you had gave me a reminder and said it's at my time it started at 7:30. I know
Oh,
you might
okay.
not want to. Could we get a reminder?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay.
My bad. Okay, so there we have it. So first question is something that doesn't bother me as much as it used to is
Wait a minute. Something.
Something that doesn't
No, something that
doesn't
doesn't
bother.
doesn't
bother me as much as it used to is
as much used to as it used to.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Number
That's a-
2, hold on, there's 5 questions. That's why you got 10 minutes. Okay. So second question is a situation
a
I would have reacted to differently last year is
word.
ready for number 3?
You said a situation I
would have reacted to differently last year is
Okay.
number three is a boundary.
A.
I've started to consider. Even if I haven't said it yet, is
Even. I haven't said it yet.
all right. Number four, something I am outgrowing is
Mhm. Out. Going. Yes. Okay.
and last question is where am I expecting
Where is expecting
external results too quickly?
external? Is you talking about the outside?
The outside results too quickly.
External results.
All right, you got 10 minutes. Time starts now. All right, welcome back. It was your 10 minutes. All right, you guys here?
Okay. Can you just read them and then we can answer them?
Do you want to go over them?
Just some of them. I think sometimes when you talk it out, it makes you kind of like, okay, I like to hear their answers too. I don't have to do them all. I could just do maybe one or two, and then somebody else can do it the first two.
All right, well, let's do number 3.
Where's number 3?
A boundary I've started to consider, even if I haven't said it yet, is
Okay. That's me, right? A
you can't.
boundary I'm a boundary I'm considering even if one of my boundaries I'm considering is mind my own business. I know that sounds kind of crazy. Mind my own business and stay in my lane. I
Now
have a
what?
ten- huh? I just have a tendency. I have a tendency sometimes to overstep my boundary. I'm always want to give extra help, do just be there. I think I'm gonna stay in my lane a little bit, and I really have to work on that.
Because what happens when you don't stay in your lane? What happens?
My feelings get hurt. I put too much into people, um, and then when they don't want to listen and the stuff come back on them, it just makes me feel like, why do I keep talking? Just
Mm-hmm.
stay in your own lane. That's
Mm-hmm.
not your business. Sometimes they always um, keep on being persistent and talking it. I just need to stay in my own lane. My feelings get hurt, and my advice I don't feel like get appreciated. So just shut up, mind your business.
So
Simple.
I'm gonna give you something that just came. When Jesus was talking to the 12 disciples and he was teaching them, what he told them was go into the cities and be fishers of men. He said, when you go into the city, give the information, you shake the dust off your feet, and you leave. It's a matter of learning to say, is this something that I need to be like, do I need to give my opinion? Right. And even if you give your opinion, learn to give your opinion. And it's called almost the I said what I said, and then you keep moving and shake the dust off your feet. None of the 12 disciples probably ever got offended if anybody didn't move in a certain way, because that's why Jesus told them, give the message and shake the dust off your feet and leave that city, because you don't ever want it to be where you're carrying, when we say shake the dust off your feet, it's like you're carrying the fact that these people aren't listening. We look at Jonah. Jonah was like, I'm not going over there to tell them nothing because these people ain't going to change at all. Jonah was like, I'd rather go into the belly of a whale than to go out here and tell these people something because I know they're just going to keep going in the same behavior. So it's a thing where I've said all that I could say. And I had to learn that about my kids. I've said what I needed to say. And we've been doing this for a long time, 30 some odd years. I've been teaching you, talking to you, giving you instructions, telling you. And so why are we here still? Why am I telling you the same thing? I have learned, I'm not going to say nothing else. I said what I said, and that's it. I'm not rehearsing that story anymore. I'm not rehearsing that verbiage. I'm not rehearsing the discipline. I'm not doing that. So, message is say what you have to say, shake the dust off your feet, and keep it pushing. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Zakia, did you want to answer this one or no?
Yeah, for me it would be stand firm on my no.
Oh,
Let my no be my no, my yes be my yes, and stand firm on it. I don't care what my heart says. I don't care if they pull in my heartstrings, and I feel as though I have the capacity to help them be stern in my no.
right. All right. Let's see. What question should I ask? A situation, this is question number 2. A situation I would have reacted to differently last year is.
That's a good one for you.
I can't answer that one. I mean, I don't know.
That one I couldn't answer because I'm like, really ain't nothing really happened.
Your
Well,
baby daddy, girl, listen. Remember last year when he would trigger the dog snot out of
oh,
you
you mean okay?
sometimes.
I guess I misinterpreted that. That's what you mean?
Huh?
You know, actually, it's like, yeah, he would trigger me, but it's gotten to a point now. I'm like, I sit back and be like, you were crying over that, like for real.
Right.
I don't
Like
think you
that. I was
cried so much last year. I think with you was frustrated more when he
Yeah, I
triggered
was
you.
more frustrated because it's like the mama buried me because of my daughter. She doesn't deserve that, and
yeah.
that was what happened with the situation between him and I. Because I came to peace with that. It was the fact that my daughter having to go through that, and she doesn't know how to fight. I've had this child in therapy since she was 6, and she's 14. It's 8 years, and it's like we're still going in that whirlwind because she doesn't know how to just detach. Like she doesn't. She wants her dad so bad that he takes any little attention that he gives her, and I hate
Yeah.
it
Why is you
because
breaking up now?
Are you
I'm
driving?
in my car. Yeah,
Is
I'm in my car.
you driving?
Yeah,
I'm
it
glad
might
you
be my
drive.
earphone.
I'm glad you driving because you stay up when you driving.
Y'all know about you know my old lady. I'll be trying to sleep. I'll be
All
trying,
right.
but yeah, it's just that I guess
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so last question was, where am I expecting external results too quickly?
That's a good question. I think I'm expecting external resorts too quickly. Um, in my prayer, I think I be want God to move the way I want
Ooh.
Him to move, and I'm just not. It ain't connecting with me. Why you not moving for me the way you move for other people? Why you? I mean, I don't understand. I pray. I just don't get it, God. And I go into meditation, and I know that you love me because you show me by the things you do for me is shown, but then it's in some areas I really need you to show me in these areas, God, and move me in the direction that I'm praying on. I'm coming to you. I'm begging you. And I
Mm,
just I just feel like I don't see it external. I don't see it in me. I don't see it. It I just sometimes I just don't see it.
yep. But it's like the bamboo tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Sorry. Did you want to answer that, Zakia? Or no, you're good.
Uh, that one I'm okay with it, but for me it would be Lord, why you did that to my baby daddy and let me see it? But I can't, and I'm like, I don't even, whatever. At this point, I don't even care because it's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it. So I can't worry about what somebody else is doing or what they don't do.
Right.
So I don't, that right there, I can't. I used to be like that, like, why I can't see what's happening to him so I can know that you were on my side. But I don't even,
Because it would be this moment. It would be that right there. Like, oh, yay. Oh,
yeah,
and God is like, I
yeah,
need you to focus on what I'm telling you to do. I'll take care of
yeah.
him. You just focus on what I'm telling you
I
to
mean,
do.
I would feel bad. Like I would be like I want like as much as I'm saying I want to see it, I would still feel bad because it's my heart. I don't want to see anybody nothing bad to anybody, but it's just like because you're hurting my baby, I want you to hurt. You know, I can't hurt you,
Yeah.
so I want Nick man to hurt you, but not like to a point where he hurt you and you gone for good because this shit really be devastating. But
Right.
but
Yeah.
I've relinquished that. But I was gonna say that. But for me, that first question for me, I could answer that wholeheartedly,
Which
and that's
one?
in a
That was
relationship. Something let's say something that doesn't bother me as much as it used to.
all right.
And that would be the situation between him and I. And oh, look at that. And then the relationship with him that he has with my daughter. Like it don't bother me as much as it used to because my daughter, as she's getting older, she's seeing it for herself. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah, she's seeing it for herself. But then it's still that, well, mommy, I don't want all this and this and I'm like, use that nigga. He telling you can't, but you can have his money. Okay, run it. So I'm basically having a coach on what to say to get money out of him. And what, guess what? He's seeing it. You don't
yeah.
want to give you a time, he's gonna give you his money. I don't care if you do pay child support. You need that to be in.
Well, there it
So
is.
it don't bother me as much. And like the whole divorce situation, the whole situation in general doesn't bother me as much. This man sat on my sofa on Christmas to tell me, and I'm sitting here, your relationship with somebody that you know, so that don't bother me because I'm like, shut the hell up, you. The dude is strong. That boy is dead bolted and
She
good,
breaking up so bad.
Yeah,
gorilla
you're
glue
breaking
straight.
up.
And girl, yours is so juicy.
Her stories, I know.
And that's what I'm like, you try and I don't want to, like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
Because you know how you feel as though I'm not seeing anybody because you don't know what's going on with my life. You don't know what's in my life.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I gotta
all
stay in the
right,
loop. Gotta stay there,
right,
figure out what's going on. What is she doing? Who is she
right. And you
talking
don't
to?
know what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
because I don't tell you anything. I don't like you'll text me out of the blue like, what's going on with you? Huh? Like I get
Yeah.
random texts like, what are you talking about? No daughter, that's what's going on with me. Like, don't be asking me like you care. When you needed to care, you didn't care. So it's like I have like this love hate relationship for him because I'm just like, you just suck. Dang,
Make me
dang.
sick.
Yeah, that's
I
how they
didn't
make you feel.
believe I gave you the experience because that's experience. And I'm going to keep you on this experience. And I believe I did it. Like, you still
Yep.
owe me some hoes because I got rid of my hoes for you.
Yep. In Jesus' name. All right, we're gonna do some group sessions here, some prompts. Question is, one way I know I'm growing, even if my life looks the same, is
A lot of stuff don't bother me as it like it used to.
One way I know I'm growing is I react different. I talk
Yeah.
different. I
Mhm.
think different.
Rhonda, think Rhonda
Yes,
was on
ma'am.
this.
Yeah,
Were
I'm
you
here. How
here?
y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, how you
Well, you
doing?
sound great. How are you?
Oh, I'm
Hmm.
coming along, having my moments, but I'm coming along.
Okay, sound good.
It'll do me no good if I complain anyway.
Hmm.
Living life, trying to. Yeah. What was the question again?
The question what we're talking about is growth. When growth feels like you're being stagnant, feels like you're not
Mm,
moving along. It feels like things are just
mm-hmm,
going slow. Um, and it feels like nothing's happening. And you've been praying, you've been doing your journaling, you've been doing your meditations, you've been doing your,
mm-hmm,
and it just feels like nothing's happening. So what we know is growth is not a thing of stagnation. It is an internal thing. So what we look at when we talk about growth is and I used to do this. I used to look for the miraculous on the outside. Like I would look for God to give me like the big stars and the
mm-hmm,
whole, shifting and moving. And it's like the lights would go off, like in the movies.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, no, that's not what this is. It's an internal thing. Your growth is not something that like you plant a seed and then all of a sudden it sprouts immediately. Because even the bamboo takes 2 to 4 months just for it to sprout,
mm-hmm.
right? But it doesn't get to the full maturity until it's between 3 and 5 years. So growth is one way that you know that you're growing, how you know that you've catapulted into this growth, even though the out part doesn't look like anything has changed. The outer parts of you. So we talked about a house. When the outside of the house looks great, but when you go on the inside, it's like, oh my gosh, like this so pretty on the outside, but the internal parts. So
Right.
one way you know that you're growing, even if your life looks the same, is where.
I feel like for me is choosing me first. I'm learning, I have learned, still learning, of choosing me first. Like I feel like that's a big part of uh a growth, in my life. And just really setting boundaries, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, with people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I've always been that you call, I'm gonna do it. You gonna do that. And I'm so over it, and it's about
Yes.
me now. Like I'm not this. I have just came so far along with things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah,
just like to the point where like no, and learning how to say no, put me first.
absolutely.
Like yeah, because sometimes I shock myself. Did I just say that and do that? Like girl, you
It's like, oh
did.
my God.
I did, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
That's good. So the new woman in us, and we talked about that, is the new woman in us is she is people have to adjust
Yeah.
because we talked about we're no longer going to like your life is being reorganized. Once you start shifting from the inside out, you're learning how to say no. You're not give over giving. You're not rescuing people from their mistakes and then being
Mm-mm.
held accountable for the place that they're in when I'm still dealing with where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You're not chasing any people anymore. You're not, and here's the one that's for you. It's like you stop abandoning yourself. I
Yeah.
stopped leaving myself behind because I'm too busy trying to help you
Mm-hmm.
with your stuff, but I'm leaving me at the space that I'm at. So when you stop performing your old role, people have to adjust. The people
Mm-hmm.
that you are in your
Mm.
life, they now have to adjust to, oh, she said no. She ain't never said no before. People
Right.
get angry. People
They
will get
do.
upset. They will try to trigger you because now you're saying no. I don't
Mm-mm.
have it. I don't want to do that. So opportunities now have to adjust to the person that you're becoming.
Mm-hmm.
The old way used to be like, well, opportunities but now it's like you have to adjust. Even the identity that you have has to adjust because now you're adjusting to this fact that shocked me. I just said no and I stood on that. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't bend, I didn't relent, I
Yep.
didn't try to navigate a different way. My no was no, and that's what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. An adjustment, it takes time. It takes time for us to adjust to be the woman that we say we want to be. It takes time for us to adjust to the lifestyle that we say we want. It takes time to adjust to the relationships that we say we want. It takes time to just really be the bamboo in our life, that we've planted in our life to become that and to adjust and get into being really rooted in the place that we want to be. Because we said that a bamboo takes 3 to 5 years to really just get rooted and adjusted in the atmosphere or the environment that it's in. So with us changing, when we reorganize our life, it's going to take us some time to really adjust and get acclimated to the fact that I just told you no and I meant it.
Right.
And I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Walking away doesn't mean that I'm a weak person. What it means is I
Mm.
know who I am. And I'm not going to
Choose
sit
me.
here and I'm not going to argue with you. And that's what it is. It's just I chose to say no today. I'm not going to keep giving to you and you're not giving to me. And what you're giving me is a hard time. Right?
Right.
All right. So my growth is slow because I'm learning to stop saying yes to everything that I should be saying no to.
Right.
That's how I feel. That's my question. Anybody else?
Mm.
Okay, go back to that question. What you say? I
So
can't.
you said it says my growth is slow because I'm learning to stop.
Oh, that's a good one. My growth is slow. I need to stop having expectation for things and people.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good one.
that's deep. That's a good one. That's a good one. And I
Yeah.
like that because I always say that we have hidden expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And those hidden
Mm.
expectations, when people don't meet those hidden expectations or those non-communicated expectations, it slows us down because we have the expectation, as like you said, Miss Tangi, that I keep telling you to do the same thing. I've had this conversation with you before. Nothing's changed. And this expectation that I'm telling you this, and I think that you're going to get it. I think that you're going to understand it. I think that you're going to move forward. I think that you're going to process. And it's like you're slowing me down because I have the expectation that you know to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But why aren't you? And so then you
Mm-hmm.
keep having this dead conversation. It's like what they say, you're beating a dead horse, or you're leading the horse to water, and you're like, drink it, it's right there. And they're just like, where? Where's the water? Where is it? And you're
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, it's been there the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's some activation challenges that we're going to do this week. Okay, so this week alone, don't measure your growth by what has changed around you. You're going to measure it by how long it takes you to recover. So when something happens to you, take measure how long is it taking me to recover from the action. Where we thought, years ago, because we've been doing this for 4 years. Think about what happened a long time ago when something would happen with our kids. How long it took us to recover. I mean, it would take us time. Now we're just like, let's whatever. Or, our jobs, or notice how quickly you notice the pattern. Notice how quickly when you're in that moment and you're just like, oh, I'm going down and I don't like that. And honor the feeling that I'm feeling, and then we move forward. Okay. Measure it by how often you choose differently. When for me, mine is I cuss. And so I have to choose different words. And so when I'm choosing the different words, what it's doing is it's stopping me and making me think about what I'm saying. And why am I saying it in that moment? And why do those words fit this scenario? And so now I have to think of different words that are less, that are more classy and more ways where I can read you and not have to use the 4-letter words. Or I can give you a scenario and not have to use the bad words, but I can use some words that are fitting and it matches my character. Because the character that I want to have is a good character, right? But when I'm out
Mhm.
here cussing and I'm doing all these things, it makes me look like, well, I
Mm.
wouldn't want to work with me because aesthetically, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She looks pretty. But then all of a sudden certain situations happen and then I'm flailing the F bombs. I'm calling y'all kinds of
Yeah,
sorry. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? That
yeah.
doesn't match who I am.
And I've had
Um,
someone tell me that, like my mouth, and they looked at me, was like, I never would have imagined you. Not trying to interrupt, but someone
no,
literally
you're good,
told
you're
me
good.
that, like, like, girl, you doing all that? Look at you. You're so pretty. I never would have imagined that would have came out of your mouth. And I'm like, well,
Ooh, you
you
have no
know,
idea.
it's, it's a
Have no
work in
idea.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanika is a beast. Okay.
Mm.
The alter ego me, she's a beast. And she don't really like, she just is like, okay, so we're past Tara and Tessa. We done hit
Mm.
Tanika now. Okay, we're done. And Tanika's like, listen, who? Oh, it's the
Yeah,
mayor. Oh, we finna cuss him out too, right? So she
yeah.
don't really care. We talked about Bill oh, what was her name? Billy, but what's her name, y'all? From
Mm.
Love and Hip Hop.
To- Tommy.
Tommy Lee, from Love and Hip
Oh,
Hop.
okay.
Pretty on the outside.
Yeah.
Tommy, just pretty girl. Very just, business minded, everything.
That's the
But when
light
she's
skinned one, right? The real, yeah, like,
Tommy, She was the one that fought a lot. I mean, would
Okay, I
cuss
think I
you
remember her.
out.
Okay.
Just look up Tommy Lee, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I remember
Um,
her.
we'll have a meltdown in a minute,
Yeah.
have a meltdown in a minute. But her character was just so like, yikes. You know, because you don't expect her to be like that. You expect her to just be like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, which means she's going to carry herself in such a dainty way. Tommy Lee starts talking, you get her in the right moment, get a little liquor in her system, and she want to bang, and she wants to give you the shoulders, and she wants to rah-rah you. And you're just like, oh my gosh, right? Like you would never expect that. So my daughter she had checked me and she's like, I've noticed. And I was like, uh-oh. But it makes me willing to pause and say, okay, she's absolutely correct. I
Mhm.
took it, I got a little offended, but then I was like, she's right. And the reason why she was right in that moment, I was watching a video, a TikTok on the tonight's conversation where they talk about the relationships. And a young lady was coming to the microphone and she was dressed. I mean, she's cute, cute girl, but it was how she was dressed. And then it was the way she was talking that made her character like, nah, we don't even want to mess with her. So she comes up to the microphone, and one of the panelists is very, very Christian, very Christian. And so she's telling the girl, wink at me and da 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 da. And so her face was kind of like, and I even felt it. And I was just like, ooh, pretty girl, but your character made me not even want to talk to you. And then you got
Mhm.
to the mic and said, I want to have a relationship. I want to do da 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 da. And the panelists had to let her know, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. She was like, number one, it was the way you dressed. That's the first thing I seen, your aesthetic, the outside. The second thing is what came out of your mouth. And all I remember hearing was that scripture of Proverbs 31, 31:30, where it talks about a woman of noble character. I think it's 31:10. Who can find such a woman? And when I look at the character, I thought, ooh. So when my daughter said something, it checked me and I was like, man. So my kids have really been like saying things to me, and it's just like, it's an eye opener. Um, just to make me check my character, how I treat them is how I treat myself, or how I treat myself usually is how I treat my kids. They know I'm not the grandma. Like I'm not the mom, I'm not empathetic, I'm a soldier. Let's go. Woo, woo, look. But now I'm willing to pause and say, what's a better way that I can cuss you out without using those four-letter words and still be classy as I'm doing it, right? Because our growth is still slow, sometimes nothing really happens on the outer parts of us, right? It's reorganizing underneath it. So when we look at the seeds that we have planted over the course of 4 years, look at where we're at right now and how it's reorganizing and it's shifting us. Like Zakiya said, it's shifting us, and it's a doozy. Sometimes there are good days and sometimes there are bad days. That whirlwind will take us to places that we've never been before. And then sometimes the dust settles and we're just like, whew, okay, it was a doozy. And then we learn to pause and really take stock of who am I and why is that situation bothering me? Okay. Choosing things differently. What is having those dialogues in our head about a conversation? I am the person, one of my, what is that? The verbiage I want to use is kind of like one of my red flags, I guess, is I have conversations and I am having the dialogue with a person, even though they're not there. I'm having the argument and I'm stating my case. So it's like I'm dredging up this old conversation that probably happened months, weeks ago, and I'm still having the conversation and I'm doing the whole thing and I'm vibing like that. And I get to a point where I say, why is that bothering me still? It's the pause. Why is that bothering me? And why is that coming up? What is that? Right? And what part of it have I not released in order for me to be able to move forward in my growth so that I'm not stagnant, like Miss Tangi said, where I'm having the expectation of a person who's not even here. They can't even defend themselves in this argument that I'm having. I'm just having an argument with them, but they're not here to defend themselves. And then, so that's slowing me down because now on this journey, I've stopped to say, I need to rehab, I need to have this conversation again. Not with them, with myself. That's diabolical in itself. Okay. That's diabolical. But that's what I do. Have the conversation with myself. So nothing happens on the surface. It's just everything is underneath. So when it's the internal things that's things start happening. Okay. So here's a closing affirmation that I want you guys to do. Slow growth is still growth. Internal changes come first. My life is reorganizing. I am not stuck. I am transitioning. Okay. Slow growth is still growth.
Well, growth is still growth.
Internal changes comes
Internal change
first.
comes first.
My life is reorganizing.
My life is reorganizing.
I am not stuck.
I am not stuck.
I am transitioning.
I am transitioning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be in the video when I upload it. So I did do a workbook and an ebook that I created, an ebook and a workbook. And this workbook is it's not the beginning where motivation is high, but it's kind of like where we're at right in the middle, where our growth feels slow, it's frustrating, and it's unseen. Nobody sees our growth. Nobody knows where we've been.
Mm.
Nobody knows where we're going. We just know we're kind of like in betwixt, right? So the ebook will walk you through understanding what's exactly shifting beneath the surface, recognizing when you're outgrowing patterns, rebuilding your self-trust because we don't trust ourselves. And that was one of the things that I learned for myself is I didn't trust myself even in this. So separating your fear from forward moving, from forward motion, and creating emotional and spiritual stability. Okay. The workbook that goes with it is it gives you a place, process to real time, process things in the moment. It tracks your growth and it interrupts the old responses. So the old patterns that we have in our mind where we're thinking old things, we're processing an old way, and we're continuing on that, like they said, the old job, the same job, the same conversations, the same people. It's like a person with OCD. They do the same thing because that's the pattern that they're used to, and we've set ourselves in these patterns. So what the workbook will do, it'll interrupt the old responses, it'll test your new behaviors, and it'll keep the small promises that will create the real change. Okay. Because what we said was awareness is powerful. Being aware of who I am, that's the most powerful thing that you could ever do for yourself.
Yeah.
Being aware that I need to learn to say no. Being aware that I need to set boundaries. Being aware that I need to mind my own business.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay. I need to just mind my own business, stay
Mm.
in my own lane.
Don't
Being
mind.
aware of, you know what,
It's
these
nothing like.
words.
Mm. Thank you,
Yeah.
God. Thank you.
I got to be aware, opening up
Yeah.
my eyes to see me, being
Mm.
aware that those words don't really, they hurt. Being aware that I have to walk in forgiveness for myself, the awareness of, I got to test this out. Being aware that I need to pause because if I say something right now, it's not going to be nice. Right. And it doesn't make me a weak person. It makes me stronger than what I used to be. Okay. So repetition, it creates the results. I have an old pastor, love him to death. Pastor Paul Burleson used to say, repetition brings about retention. The more you repeat a thing, the more you're going to retain that thing. So the more you keep doing these new processes and these new habits and these new behaviors, the more you're going to be able to retain it and keep it. The more you say no, oh no, my no means no. And that's what it is. And learn to walk away, shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. When we look at how they, what people would think about the Bible is they think that we go to a church, say what we have to say and leave. Absolutely. It's all around. It's the all incumbent of a thing. You have some words to say what you have to say, shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. I've said what I needed to say, and I'm not saying anything else to anybody. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to have dissertations with you. I'm not having TED Talks with you. I'm not having essays. I'm not doing any of that. I said what I said, and that's how I'm feeling. Now people are going to have to adjust to the new way of what we're thinking, of our patterns and our behaviors, rebuilding the self-trust, because now they're just like, oh, she's changing. Rhonda said
Mm-hmm.
no. Well, why would she say no? What is the no coming from? The no comes from I'm tired. Okay. My no comes from I've given enough. My no comes from I'm dry. Okay. In that area, I'm dry. There's no, I can't, it's like this rag. It's so dry. I can't, there's nothing in me. I don't have nothing to give you right now. I have given all that I needed to give.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, there's nothing else there for me. Okay. So there's the workbook and there's the ebook. They go together. You can get the ebook separately, workbook, whatever. If you want the link, send it to me and then you can purchase that and just work through this change. Working through change, is it hard? Absolutely. Absolutely. Charging your worth, knowing where you're supposed to go, knowing what you're supposed to do, telling little Pookie, listen, I have standards. Okay. And if you don't meet those standards, we're good. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you. Thank you so much for even trying. Thank you for your tenacity and even seeing me for who I am. But this ain't it. Okay. Focusing, learning to focus on ourselves, our business, our careers, our aspirations, our dreams, because we've given up on ourselves. When we talk about we've abandoned ourselves, we've abandoned everything. In a 4 years time span, we have got to a place where we have literally abandoned every business idea that we had all said that we wanted to do back in 2022. Was it 22, 22, 22, 23?
So true. So true. That's true.
22. Was it 22? Yeah, 22. I think it was
Yeah,
22.
22.
We have abandoned every
Is it
idea.
22? Yeah.
I think it was 22. We've abandoned every idea, every business, every idea of a retreat. We have abandoned all of it because life got in our way and we got into this pattern of, well, I just got to go through it. Rather than wanting to change it, we just like, well, the thing is we get used to it. Well, I'm used to it. Like Miss Tangi said, I have the expectations. When they don't meet the expectations, I get used to it. I get used to getting my feelings hurt. I'm used to, saying something to you and, getting cussed out by you. I'm used to it. But when is getting used to it no longer enough? Like when are you just like, we ain't doing that no more. I refuse to go another year with you saying what you say to me and think that we just go like, oh, it's okay. Not okay. It was okay 4 years ago. It's not okay now. That's not okay with me. Right? So,
Right.
Right.
all right. So let me see. We are done. Uh-oh. All hearts and minds clear.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all hearts and minds clear. Very good. I don't know. Zakia's probably doing something. I don't know what she's doing. Oh,
I hear you. I was sneezing.
oh.
I couldn't stop sneezing.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording. If you guys want to have a little conversation, we can talk for another 5, 10 minutes. And then, so my screen is backwards.
I'm about to go to sleep though. I just took my pill.
Okay. Well, here we go. Let me stop.